It's time for our April ESR Energy Support Report of the month, April 2020. We have a lot to go over for this month. There's a lot of things coming up, a lot of energies that are swirling around, not to mention our amazingly aligned tools that are ready to work with us all month long. So let's get into it. April is the kind of the new beginning of the year, right? We just went into the spring equinox. We started Aries season a few weeks ago, and April is like the culmination of those energies. It sits right in the beginning of April and throughout this month. It really lives in this space where we begin anew, where spring starts to come back to life. Buds start blooming and trees start getting their leaves back, and everything is just brimming with life. Birds are chirping, sun is shining, like the days become longer. We really get into this really nice energy zone of brand new beginnings. And even if the state of the world isn't supporting that energy, if it doesn't feel like it's time for new beginnings and life is ready to be experienced anew right now, that's okay, because it doesn't stop the wheel of time from turning, guys. No matter what's going on, nature is still going to cycle in the way that she is going to cycle. So whether we can feel it or not doesn't mean it's not happening. It is happening. We may not be able to actively participate in it in the way that we're used to or the way that we necessarily want to, but this year, 2020, is all about finding new ways of doing things, right? We've been talking about this all year. Every month I've been saying that the shift is happening this year. Last month we discovered the catalyst for the shift was going to be coronavirus. It's still the case. So things are still shifting. Things aren't stopping. Do you understand? That's really important to know. They're shifting, not stopping. And we need to shift with it. We need to reevaluate, rethink, and redo the way that we live and the way that we approach things and the way that we view things. So even this new spring season with life abounding everywhere, what we normally want to do may not be what we can do, but we can figure out new ways of doing things, new ways of honoring this turning of time and this change of seasons. So to start off our month, the first thing we're going to see is Venus entering into the sign of Gemini on the 3rd of April. So when it comes to matters of love, matters of the heart, matters of romantic partnerships, look for it to take on more of a fun, flirty, maybe even emotional distancing approach, right? Because Gemini really loves the game, really loves to flirt, really loves to have fun, really loves to be playful. And that's a lot of the energy that we can see kind of popping up for us when Venus enters Gemini. Go with it. Allow that to be a time of having fun, of letting loose, of not taking things so seriously. And with all of the social, physical distancing that we are practicing at this moment, Venus in Gemini offers the other side of that balance in emotional distancing, in being aloof and a little bit out of reach. They like to just be just a little bit on the outside of things. It makes the chase a little more fun. It makes the game of love a little more fun. Also on April 3rd, Mercury and Neptune are in conjunction in the sign of Pisces, where we said conjunction is a soft aspect, so it softens the energies that surround the planets and the signs that they transition in. So when we have Mercury and Neptune forming a conjunction in the sign of Pisces, we can see ideas and ideals expanding, like taking on a bigger than life energy. We can expect to receive a lot of downloads, a lot of channeling, right? Because Mercury plus Neptune meeting that up together and then being in the sign of Pisces, which is the flow, right? The flow of spirit, of divine energy. We can have a lot of channeling and downloads. This can mean that all those spiritual accounts that you follow, they might just be spouting off at the mouth because they've got a lot of stuff to say. There's a lot of stuff coming through. But on the flip side of that, on the negative or the downside of this conjunction, we can also see that it can lead to extreme confusion or even living in fantasy worlds. And the way to really avoid that is to make sure that we're grounded. Make sure that we are grounded in what we're receiving and what we're sharing and what we're saying, so that it really is supported by spirit and source and not something that we are just allowing ego to infiltrate and inflate. So if you're receiving a lot of messages or you're hearing a lot of messages from others, check in with your own self and ask yourself, is this grounded in truth? Is this rooted in what I believe, or is this rooted in source energy? Does it feel feel an alignment. And if it doesn't, then it can be just conflated into something that isn't from truth, and we shouldn't really give it a whole lot of merit. But if it does, go ahead and allow that expansion to take place. Allow your mind and your spirit to expand to receive all of this new energy that is coming through. On April 4th, 4/4 is a powerful numerology day. We're also going to see transits of Jupiter and Pluto as they form a conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. This only happens once every 13 years, and it's going to happen 3 times in the sign of Capricorn this year alone. So it's a pretty big deal. Like 2020 is bringing all the energy to the yard. It's really shaking everything up. And so to see something like this happen in this year and have it be under the sign of Capricorn, which is the dad sign, which is the disciplinarian ruled by Saturn, right? Like get your shit together kind of a deal. Makes sense as we're seeing how the world is spinning nowadays. It actually makes sense that these are the transits that are coming up for us this year, because we really are being asked to clean our room, get our shit together before we're allowed to go back outside and play with our friends, right? Like the things that we haven't taken care of, the pile of toys that we've shoved in the closet, the pile of clothes that we put underneath our bed, the stack of homework that we said that we did but we didn't get to. We have to start getting to all these things, taking care of them, putting them up, putting everything away, because dad is coming in to check on our progress. If he doesn't like what he sees when he comes in, we're grounded for even a longer time. So it's time to really put our heads down, take care of the things that need to be taken care of, so that we can be released, so that we can feel freer, so that we can have our life back in the way that we want to have it back, right? In a better way. Because now we're not hiding things. We're not like, oh yeah, I've cleaned it. Yeah, I've taken care of it. And deep down, we know that we haven't done the things that we need to do. And so there's this little bit of guilt, right? Now let's clean up our shit really authentically, honestly, present it to dad in a way that we can be proud of, so that when we do step out into the world, we can do so in a brand new energy and feeling free of guilt and shame, and just really being able to live our life. Our full moon in Libra occurs on April 7th. This full moon is all about the balance, right? Libra is the sign of the scales, sign of justice. So that's what we're bringing in. We're bringing in the balance. And what I just said about that conjunction of Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn is about bringing in like the balanced good, right? Like, did we do the things that we were supposed to do in order to receive the rewards that we're asking for? So the full moon in Libra is going to help bring in that energy to help us balance everything out. So lean heavy into this moon energy, do some balancing rituals, cleaning everything out, not only of your physical space, but your mental space and your spiritual space. Do a sweep, do a full sweep of things. Does this matter? Do I really need this? Do I really need to hold on to this or not? Can I release these things? And what is important? What does bring me joy? Marie Kondo the shit out of everything in your life, including the things that are taking up your mental space, right? And bring those things that bring you joy, bring them in closer, hold them tighter, and let everything else fall away. Also on the 7th, Mars in Aquarius will square Uranus in Taurus. This type of square happens once a year, and it is a serious energy vortex. When this square happens to land in a space where we're having a crisis as a collective, what it's offering us is the opportunity and the capacity to really shift things. Like, think rebellions, think revolutions, think of like really big collective ways that we get to move things in the direction that we want to move them. So the square is offering protective energy under that, or also you can think of it as swelling up the energy in us, right? So it's like putting us in a bubble almost of this energy that we get to sit in and think of, like, how do I want to shift this energy? How do I want to shift this crisis into ways that are beneficial for me and everyone else around me? Also look for this energy to encourage possible entrepreneurial ideas, right? Because out of crises comes big ideas, new ways of doing things. Businesses are born this way. So this is also lending to that type of shift to occur. On April 11th, Mercury enters the sign of Aries. Guys, if you want the truth, you can't handle the truth. That is Aries energy in a nutshell. Mercury in Aries is going to come at you. It's going to be forthright. It's going to be abrupt. It's going to be honest AF, and it's going to be harsh at times, but it's always going to be the truth, okay? Obviously, this can refer to how we communicate with others as well as how others communicate with us, but let's also think of this in a way in how we communicate with ourselves, right? Let yourself be confident. Let that inner bad bitch voice out and be like, own this. You got this. You are the best. You're amazing. Go for it, right? And this is going to go hand in hand with that conjunction we just talked about earlier, which supports the energies of entrepreneurship, right? Rising above in a time of crisis. Allow the Mercury in Aries to also bring that up and out, to let that energy of communication be forthright, be honest, be in your face, be real. On April 19th, the sun moves into Taurus. So after all of that reckless, impulsive fire, like fly by the seat of your pants energy that Aries brought to us, Taurus is coming to ground us, to put roots into the earth, wrap them around the core, and firmly keep us steady and where we are, which is much needed at this time, right? Taurus is also known as a sign of materialistic goods, materialistic wealth, accumulation of that. And so we can see this energy coming up as we move through the zodiac calendar and into the sign of Taurus, where we're going to be, what did I say, right? Marie Kondoing the shit. And so really bringing in the things that we love, our material possessions as well. What are the things that we really value, that we really hold dear, that we really want? Because as this world shifts and changes, these are the questions we're going to be asking ourselves, and we really are going to be ready to let go and release the things that just aren't as important. And Taurus is asking you to look at the things that are important. Where Aries is like, pay attention to what's not important and let it go. Taurus is like, pay attention to what is important and keep it, okay? So again, full moon in Libra, that balance that came in is also still working, guys. That energy is still working in this time period to bring in that balance. You see how that works? They go hand in hand. It's so nice. On April 22nd, we have our new moon in the sign of Taurus. This is an amazing new moon energy to set intentions for prosperity, because Taurus is, right, the grounding, the materialistic wealth sign. Setting your intentions for what it is that you want to not only manifest, but keep in your life as far as possessions go, as far as prosperity and abundance go. This is an excellent new moon energy to perform those rituals and to ask for those things to come true for you. Also, Taurus is an earth sign, and it's so much of the earth that this new moon would do you well if you incorporated earth magic, if you somehow did it out in nature, or buried your intentions, or did something that had to do with moving through earth energy or bringing it into your ritual, because it will make it that much more powerful because you're working with that same energy. On April 25th, Pluto begins its retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. This will last until October 4th of this year. So we've got the whole summer to think about what we've done as far as Pluto in Capricorn is concerned. Pluto is the planet of like what's hidden for us, right? Like what's in our shadow, the things that we necessarily don't want to look at, the things that we push so far down under that we're like, maybe it doesn't even exist anymore. Retrograding is bringing it back up. It's like reversing it back up and be like, no, remember me? You tried to push me down, but here I am, take a look. And when the sign of Capricorn, what do we say? Capricorn ruled by Saturn, the dad planet, wants to make sure everything is in order, also wants to make sure that we are primed for success, that we are in a position where success can be achieved and we can reach it and we can be the best of the best of the best. And so when Pluto retrogrades in this sign, we're being asked to take a look at the things that are maybe keeping us from being our best, that maybe we're not looking at, as far as where we can apply ourselves, where we can be successful in, and where we can actually live out our life purpose, our true life purpose. So look for all of these themes to play out during this retrograde season. Allow them to come to the forefront and to your face. Take a look at them and start asking questions, guys. Start working through them so that you can figure out what it is that you're supposed to be doing in order to achieve the next level, in order to move forward, and in order to really really be a purposeful being in this life. Finally, on the 27th, Mercury enters Taurus. So as far as our communication goes, it's going to be a lot more grounded, probably a lot more stubborn, right? So like a little bit more inflexible on our viewpoints, where Aries is very impulsive and very spontaneous and even like powerful in decision making, because it's like, let's go, let's do it, let's go. Taurus is going to be a little bit more reserved, a little bit more practical. There's going to be more planning, more needs to have sure footing before it moves forward, which we need at this time, but also make sure that we're not completely inflexible, that we do stay open to listening to others, to listening to our channeled messages, to listening to ourselves, right? Be grounded and rooted in your beliefs, but not inflexible. What's that saying? Be committed to your goals, but flexible on how you get there. It's like that. That's what Taurus and Mercury is trying to teach us, right? Be committed to it, but be flexible on how we allow it to come to us. Okay, crystal of the month. I'm so excited for this month's crystal. It really is the perfect energy to bring in after these first kind of 3 rough months of the year. We really want to bring in some soothing, good, peaceful, harmonious, heart-opening vibes into our space. And so this month, we're going to be working with flower agates. Flower agate is gorgeous. So it's also known as the sakura crystal because it looks like the cherry blossom trees. I hope that's focusing. So it doesn't really want to focus, but I'm telling you guys, she's gorgeous. Get a look at some flower agate. They're really soft and they resemble the cherry blossom trees. You can find little seeds in there and you can find flower blooms in there. And that's really what this crystal embodies, is going from seed to blossom, the growth that we can experience as a soul, and as we open our heart to experiencing all of the lessons and the expansion that we're supposed to. Instead of hardening and closing off, open that bitch up more. Open her up more. Let her feel more. Flower agate is very gentle. It's very nourishing. It's very nurturing. It is a heart chakra crystal, like we talked about, opening that thing wide open. And it's supporting in the process of the growth, of the cycles of growth. It wants to recognize, acknowledge, and honor every part of it, all of it, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. This crystal also helps to support your dreams, to actually manifest your dreams into reality. It helps you to bring them to life because it's all about that seed to blossom energy, right? So what starts as a seed, what starts as an idea, allow that to continue on the entire growth process on the path to becomes this beautiful blossom, this beautiful bloom that's ready to be shared with the world. It restores emotional balance. It brings harmony. It has a divine feminine presence and energy to it, which again, I feel like is much needed, right? The world is sick, right? The world is sick right now. And when you're sick and you're a little child, who do you want? You want your mom. Everyone wants their mommy when they're sick, and we're no different. None of us is immune to that, right? So now the whole world is sick and we all want our mommy energy. We want the divine feminine energy to come in and nurture us back to health. We want her to tuck us in with like 5 blankets and a cold compress and check in on us every 5 minutes. And that's what flower agate energy is all about, is really being that nurturing mother to us, really feeding us, watering us, allowing us to grow. It also helps us in moving forward with grace from situation to situation. So no matter where we are or where we've come from, it gives us the energy and the ideals that we can always become better. We are always in this process of growing and being better than we were before, which lends to confidence, right? Which is something that we all need, that we all are in need of, especially in uncertain times when we don't know what's happening. We need to have confidence in that things will be okay. And that's why this crystal is so perfect for this month. That and all the other reasons I listed, but really it's the perfect match for what we're going through and for what we need to help support us. So grab yourself some flower agate, work with it all month long. I actually have several pieces of flower agate that I plan on wrapping underneath the cherry blossoms here in South Korea. This is actually a carnelian flower agate. That one's really special. But I have about 8 pieces that I'll have wire wrapped and ready to wear as crystal jewelry, as necklaces in the month of April. So if you guys are interested, hit me up on my Akashic Crystal Healing IG page, or leave a message, comment down below, and let me know, because these will go fast. They're so beautiful and they're so perfect for April and honestly the rest of the year. Okay, what better companion to go with our flower agate crystal than the one and only rose oil. Rose oil is amazing. Rose oil is also heart chakra correlated. Surprise, surprise. We're working with the heart all month long because that's what we need. We need to bust this sucker wide open. We need to pour more love on the situation. Anytime there's fear and anxiety and doubt, guess what it needs? Faith and love and peace. That's what we need to pour into it. So rose oil is going to be your savior this month. She helps to break the cycle of isolation, of feeling alone, of feeling detached. She helps to bring that connection back in because it's a heart chakra oil. And guess what? We're going to be using it on our heart chakra all month long, so that that connection can be forged and open, so that we feel a part of everyone and everything, because that is the truth. We are all one. We are all connected. And so this oil helps to remind us of that simple truth and to release the false idea that we're not connected, that we are isolated, because we're really not. We can be physically distant, but it doesn't mean that we're spiritually or energetically separated, right? That's not, those two things don't mean the same thing. Rose oil also helps to relieve stress. It helps with PTSD. It helps to move through trauma, which I think we're all going through right now. It also helps to alleviate anxiety and depression. So really is a happy oil, happy, uplifting, heart healthy, heart energy, love, vibration oil. Also, and this is one of the coolest things that I love about this oil, is this oil helps to boost T cell production, which helps in our white blood cells, which are the things that fight off infections, fight off illnesses for us. So this actually will help boost our immunity. The more that we use rose oil, the more that we allow it to come into contact with our own vibrations and allow it to mesh into its vibration, the higher our immunity gets to be. It's antiviral, it's antibacterial, it shields our cells from infection while promoting the white blood cell production, and it can actually train the immune system to fight off infections such as flu symptoms or flu strains, right? So this is a powerhouse in this time. I'm so glad that Spirit directed me towards this oil, because this is exactly what we need. Now, I am not saying, please don't get it twisted. I am not saying, well, Chantel said all you have to do is take rose oil and I won't get the coronavirus. No, that's not what I'm saying, guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this can help support your own physical being in fighting off and training your immune system to be stronger as a whole, okay? It doesn't mean that this is the cure. It's not. This is just preventative measures, and it's also helping to align you vibrationally with source energy, which is always a good thing, never a bad thing. So please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying this is all you need, because this is not all you need. This is a support. As is everything we talk about in these videos, they are support tools to support you, okay? Rose oil is also a very sensuous oil. So during this time of quarantine, remember we talked about making babies last month, and we're still in that. We're still in that energy, guys. So rose oil really does help to turn up the sexy times, because once that hits your nose, you just are like, I'm in love. I feel like love. I feel like love is everywhere. It brings out those vibrations connected to the divine feminine energy, just like we needed from the flower agate crystal. Rose oil is bringing in all that good womanly, nurturing energy and space for us to be in. It supports unconditional love, compassion, empathy, and gives us a sense of security. And isn't that what we all want right now? To feel secure and loved and know that everything's gonna be okay. Rose oil, flower agate. This is your power couple for this month. Oh, it's so good. We're gonna be using it on our heart chakra all month long. And rose oil is one of those oils that you can use as a perfume. So if you wanna go ahead and put it behind your ears, you can. Again, I also like to put one just right here, right there underneath my nose, so that I'm smelling it all day long. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just right there, so I can smell it and get the aromatherapy goodness from it. Also a little trick, if you wear perfume and you want it to last a little longer, the skin absorbs it very quickly, but if you roll it in your hair or if you spray perfume in your hair will hold on to smells a lot longer. Kind of like how if you go to a club and there's a lot of cigarette smoke in there and your hair smells like cigarettes the next day, your hair is holding on to them. So do the same thing with perfume. So a little insider tip, if you want your perfume to last longer, get it all in your hair. Get your hair involved in this process. Okay, it's time for our message of the month. Once again, as per usual, we will be pulling from our Soul Journey deck by the one and only Nancy Hess from SF Spirit House. Give her a follow, give her a like, buy her products, book her sessions. She's amazing. You won't regret it. Our super thick therapy in a box deck that we have here. It's going to give the cards a quick shuffle and ask that our message of the month be delivered, so that we know where we need to focus on this month. What do we need to look at? What do we need to pay attention to? Where does our mind need to go? What exercises do we need to practice and or enforce within our daily lives for the month of April? All right, one last shuffle. Okay. Give the deck a good knock out the energies, and awesome, perfect. Okay, it's a challenge. Love these. So this month, Spirit is asking us to devote 10 minutes each day this week to meditating. It says this week, I'm gonna change that to this month, okay? Devote 10 minutes each day this month to meditating. Sit in silence, quiet your mind, and focus your breath. Be kind to yourself. Allow your thoughts to be heard without judgment. 10 minutes a day for the entire month. You can do it. I know you got time, guys. I know none of you are going to work. I know you're sitting at home. I know we're all watching Tiger King and we're really busy with that, but I know that we can have 10 minutes every day in all of the hours of the day that we're awake. We can have 10 minutes where we can sit and just be, not do, right? And this goes right in line with, I give weekly readings in my Facebook group, my private Facebook group for the open classroom. If you want to be a part of that, that's only $5 a month. And every week, every Sunday night, I'm in there giving a live reading. And I know we just recently talked about in my group, the art of being, right? We're not human doings, we're human beings. And we forgot how to just be. And so this is a really good message and exercise for us to do to remind ourselves how to be, how to just sit and be for 10 minutes. It's not long, guys. It's not long to just sit and be with yourself. Be with yourself, no one else but you, right? Get comfortable with you, spend time with you. It's important. And I think that's an opportunity that is arising from this quarantine, is to be able to connect back to you. We have spent so much time and so much of our life connecting to others, which is great. But how many of us can say that we've also turned that in and dedicated that same energy to us and connecting back to ourselves? And that's what this quarantine has given us all an opportunity to do, which we should all take it up on. We should all be excited about this opportunity. So 10 minutes a day for the entire month. I want everyone to do this. I will also do this. I'm looking forward to doing this, actually, this challenge. That's a daily habit, okay? Really, really love this one. Okay, lastly, we have our mantras for the month. This month, in the month of April, the 4th month of the calendar year, Spirit has given us 4 mantras to repeat. As always, you can grab your mala, your mini mala, or your rosary. This mini mala is made by Mala Malama Love, Christine Gal. This is my Akashic Crystal Healing Mala. You can buy a duplicate of this. You can get your own. Please contact her. She's amazing. She makes the most magical tools. So, as usual, we're gonna take our tool that we're using and we're going to repeat 1 mantra per bead all the way around the entire mala and or rosary until you've reached the end, right? So we have 4 mantras all the way around, guys, once a day. I actually would love to see you do your mantras and then your 10 minutes of meditation. That's a perfect way to start and or end and or ground the middle of your day. Wherever you want to place this is right. Wherever it feels good for you is right. That's the beauty about a spiritual practice, is that there really aren't any rules except for the ones that are in alignment with you. So you get to pick what that means, what that is to you. But please just do it once a day. It will shift you in ways that you didn't even think were possible. So our 4 mantras this month are: I am nourished by love. Nourished by love. You're fed by it, guys. It sustains you. It gives you life. It breathes into you. You're nourished by it. That word is so powerful. I am nourished by love. I am the divine feminine energy by the nature of my soul. Speak that into existence. I am the divine feminine energy by the nature of my soul. That's big. It's big. The next one is just as big. I am the divine masculine energy by the nurture of my spirit. Do you see that, guys? I am the divine masculine energy by the nurture of my spirit. Oh, I love them. They're so good. Ooh, I get chills. The last one, I am the balance of source energy. You guys get that? Do you get that? That we are coming into balance here, or that is what we are bringing in, is we're bringing in our balance. We're bringing both parts of us in, marrying them and integrating so that we can be whole. That's what we want here. That's what we want. That's what we're doing, okay? So all of these mantras are powerful, powerful intentions that you set every day that you say them. They become more and more real, more and more grounded, more and more rooted into you and into who you are and who you are becoming. And that's why we do mantras of the month, because they're really great practice to have. Okay, so that's it for your April energy support report for 2020. It's a big month. There's a lot going on, but we have a lot of really good energy supporting us, asking us to choose. What are we going to choose, right? And we're not choosing fear, we're choosing love. Even when we're in the darkest of times, there's always love and there's always light that's going to lead us out. Always. Always, guys, always. Even if you can't see it, even if you don't know it's there, it is always going to end up that way. And you have to trust in that and lean in that by nurturing and nourishing your divine love more. Thanks for hanging out with me. Again, please like and subscribe to this channel. And thank you for allowing me to do this work. Bye.